All right, everybody, and we are back with Super Castlevania 4, ran by Kenshintrek. Before we jump into it, I would like to give a quick shout out to Cyphren for that $20 donation, saying, always glad to help an awesome cause when able. And shout out to Steve for doing an excellent job for his runs for the event. Speaking of Cyphren, we actually have Manx86 and Cyphren as commentators on this run, so without any further ado, good luck and have fun, Kenshin!
Thank you, Marinade. Thank you very much. And Cyphren, how are you doing, my friend?
I am doing great. Always happy to see Super Castlevania 4 and to see it run by Kenshin. Oh, it's going to be a good time. It's a treat for everyone here.
Yeah, so just a quick warning before we get started. This game has a lot of bright lights, so if you're sensitive to lights, I do recommend to put on your shades or any precautions you'd like to take. I'll get our runner going. Cypher, you want to say a few words a little bit about Kenshin while I do that?
Yeah, Kenshin is an amazing Super Castlevania 4 runner. In the community, he's probably one of the, if not he's one of the most consistent runners of this game. Like, there is a period of time that you could even go over the span of years where Kenshin was the person holding the torch, the flag, to keep this game going. Constantly in our Discord servers, you'll always see a ping, hey, anyone available for a race? From Kenshin. Kenshin he's truly awesome. He is just amazing. An amazing runner. So happy to provide commentary for him.
Yep, we're underway. We do start outside of the castle, as it is accustomed in a lot of Castlevania games. The first thing you will notice out of this game is Kenshin is able to whip in multiple directions. So I believe this is the first Castlevania where you can sort of have a 8-directional whip, and you can also hold it down to sort of swing it around. We will see it a few times, but it basically stuns the enemy just enough to either boost on it or get away past it.
Yep, that's correct. And you also have the option for what's known as a limp whip, which you may see Kenshin do here and there occasionally. But one thing that also makes Kenshin special when it comes to running this game is that he's running on a keyboard, just for everyone's awareness. Unlike most of the runners who tend to use the regular controller or so, or various other controllers, Kenshin is our keyboard master. And so he plays the game in a way that's very unique and special, unlike most CV4 runners here.
Also, speaking of special, Kenshin is probably the most consistent runner in the world. I have never seen somebody play this run and get like time and time again, like similar times. Like, it's impossible.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. That is exactly what I was speaking to before. Like, it's like he'll do one run and it'll be like a 34 or something. And then he'll do another run, 34 again, another run, 34. You know, it's just constant. And I bet most of us wish we had that same level of consistency.
We're just headed into the second part of the level here, the stables, so we'll start seeing some damage boosts. So based on which side of the enemy you get hit, you can get boosted forward a little bit at the cost of health. Although health is a prime in this game, we do have the ability to expend a little bit of it right now on these Medusas, notably. And there's some chicken along the way to help us out. The game was understandably, they knew this game was difficult. They left a lot of chicken fries.
Yes, they did. Simon is a hungry boy, and yeah, you'll find meat, chicken, and candles and walls, and yep. And coming up here, we have our first boss, Rodin, which Kenshin is making very quick work. Just a few crosses, a few burr, as Shin David would call it. Shouts to Shin David. Yeah, Kenshin just obliterated him.
And we get the famous Triforce, so Kenshin's going to try to do a Triforce shape with his crosses at the end of most bosses. Great job there.
Yeah, great job. Already off to a great start.
Yeah, that was a good triangle. It wasn't a piece of pizza like sometimes.
Yeah, that's me. I tend to formulate that pizza the New York style, which for me, coming from Chicago, that's blasphemy. Like, I need that deep dish, but I always get that New York style slice. Just
We're heading to level 2, which I believe is the Forest of Fears, but I like to call it the Forest of Beers for JC.
Yeah.
And this level is it's a little quiet in terms of music and stuff. It's not it doesn't seem too dangerous, but it's a lot more dangerous than it seems. If you see all these jumps, it's because there's enemies and hands that can just pull from anywhere and grab you down. And health is a prime in this level.
Yeah, health is very important because it's going to allow Kenshin to take some boosts further into this level here. And so it's a lot of health management, certain boosts that you'll see him take, just as he took a bat boost here. It's all calculated so that he'll be set up for the really key boost towards the tail end of this stage 2.
We haven't talked too much about this sub weapon, but the cross is make or break in this game. So if you don't have the cross, usually you're just crying in a corner. Also, you will notice on the top right side of the screen, there's a little Roman numeral icon. So it'll be either a 1 or 2 or a 3. It just simplifies how many crosses Kenshin can have at a time on the screen. So having the triple here means he can get 3 crosses. And this is really good against Medusa right here. Boom, boom,
Yep,
boom.
boom, done. Yep. I love Kenshin with the thumbs up. He's telling us all is right in the world, people. All is right in the CV4 world. So yeah, now we're on this river here. The river flows in one direction, like based on timing or so. So like right now it's going forward, but eventually it's going to switch and flow in the opposite direction, which now you can see Kenshin jumping against the flow. But you'll also take note of those damage boosts that I was speaking to earlier that are very pivotal based on the amount of health that Kenshin has. Towards the tail end of this level, we're going to want to take some boost from these flying green demons here. And if we have just enough health, he should wind up with only one blip of health, which he does, which is exactly what we want.
There we go. Here we're entering the cave. So this cave is nothing too difficult, but we do need to be aware of Mudmen RNG. So we want them to they can sort of turn around just as you're trying to jump over them, and they do more damage when they do that and stay a full body as opposed to hitting like a dismantled version of them. So I'm not sure if he'll go for all the boost or he'll take it safe. Knowing Kenshin, he's just gonna go for it.
Yeah, and that was a decent pattern there. Ideally, you want both Mudmen to come towards you because it just makes the jump easier. The jump's easier there, and you can potentially avoid taking any damage. But taking that one off of that first Mudman, that's good. That's ideal.
Cypher, now let you explain the ring glitch here. How we get
All right, yeah. So first, Kenshin's going to take a boost off a little fuzzy here and continue to make his way up the waterfall. And then we're going to get to a certain point where Kenshin's going to attempt to climb up to this ring. And based on the way the screen scrolled vertically, it now has sort of like despawned the hitboxes of a number of these enemies that are you'll see coming up here. Like I think there was a fuzzball that he was able to walk right through, and it just with that ring glitch, using that full extension of whip, it allows us to take a shortcut through that area.
I don't remember the name of this the water enemy that everybody hates, but I'll call him Patrick right now. But there's some merman enemies that can just jump out of the water here in an unfortunate spot. We're not going to hope for it.
Yeah.
So health is pretty tight here. He's doing pretty good. Like it might seem like he doesn't have it all health, but it could be a lot worse. This is about what we want to have normally.
Mm. And there is some backup health coming up if he really needs it. I know Kenshin will consider it, but I think right now, he's holding on. He's coming up okay. Leading up to the Orphic Vipers, that's our boss that we have to worry about. So Kenshin opted, besides trying to be fast, he opted not to kill that bone snake down there because then it would allow him to set up for another ring glitch essentially a ring glitch to skip an area, but he wasn't quite able to get it and just continued on through the level. But now we're coming up to the Orphic Vipers. Go ahead, Mannix.
Yeah, he's gonna throw some very specific crosses here, and he wants exactly 5, so he ends up with no crosses at the end of the stage for a faster ending. That was, if that's not the best horrific Vipers, I'm surprised. This is a
Oh.
very laggy boss if it goes wrong. That was clean, and his body is even part of the triangle.
Yep. Very great kill. Great job, Kenshin.
All right.
All right, now leading up to the tower here. This level, this level can be very tricky and bad, only from the sense of if you die, you won't get your cross for, was it like the next stage, Manix? I think stage 5. Yeah,
I think
so
it's
if you
stage 5, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it's very pivotal to not die here, because you can definitely lose a lot of time. That's also why stage 3 is somewhat of a run killer for most of us runners, is that if you lose your cross like at a certain point, then you have to go through all of stage 4 before you can pick up another cross in a optimal time fashion. But right now we got Puexel. Shout outs to the CV4 runner Puexel. And now we don't have Puexel with the almonds bursting out of him there.
And the fun fact about Puexel is if you look at it backwards, it spells licks you up against your tongue. So they left a lot of little fun stuff. We have some other ones we can bring up a little bit later.
Mhm.
Here's the upside down room, and Kenshin's having a little fun. Completely optional to do that.
Just stun here. Kenshin looking good.
So this can be an annoying casual screen if you're panicking a little bit with all the Medusas, but honestly, if you find this right spot to crouch down, you just have to kill some Medusas. I think you don't have to kill all of them, but Cypher, correct me if I'm wrong, it does get rid of a bit of lag if you kill some of them.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, the Medusa heads do definitely cause lag in this room.
Speaking of lag, the next room coming up that we call the Mode 7 room. Cool thing is if you look carefully into the room that's going to spin, you can actually see like Castlevania 1 tiles in the background, like parts of Castlevania 1 stages, which is a nice little shout out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, these skeletons will be busting out a few possible places and at different timings, so going through this room and with all the lag and some of these bumps are one-shot kills, so I find this room really scary. I don't know about you, Sai. Feels like a butt clencher every time you get here.
No, yeah, because if you don't, again, speaking to Kenshin's consistency, if you don't get through this room consistent enough, then yeah, the skeletons they'll drop on you whenever they feel like it. It just throws off the rhythm.
This block room is famous for one of the difficult zips of the games. It is very difficult to pull off. I don't think we're going to see it yet, so we're not going to see it. It is possible to wedge yourself in a wall here using one of the bats and zip through this little maze, but honestly, what it gives you and what you lose if you miss it, like the cross and everything, it's perfectly okay not to go for that today.
Yeah, Kenshin again speaking. You'll forever hear us mention his consistency, and he said in practice before playing this that he actually did get the zip, but he's like, no, I'm not going for it this time. he opted to give you all a great view and experience instead of being like me, and I would be like, oh yeah, I'm going for it, and then I would have died there. So no, that's again kudos to Kenshin.
Here's some big flashes warning. This is Coronat, or spelled backwards, Ton of Rock. Not a very difficult boss, but if you waste a bit of time, you can get knocked around a little bit, and we'll try to get pick up the orb right at the top if we get the right pattern here. No.
Oh, so close. Just jumped a little too early. But yeah, that early orb was almost there.
Yeah, if you don't get the perfect fight, you don't get the perfect platform. So it's like... you obviously want to focus on the fight before the orb is the gravy. And this is the Amazon delivery stage.
Yeah.
So we got some probably birds and fleamen. That's probably the worst combination in Castlevania into a single stream.
Oh yeah, I absolutely hate these harpies or whatever they are, but they drop out. Yeah, they drop off these little gremlins and they just jump after you forever and ever, and they can sometimes zip through the level and just try to chase you down. They want to end you so bad, but So far, they've been very. I would say they've been decent for Kenshin here, and haven't been as much of a troll. It feels like.
We have about 20 seconds here before we go into the famous chandelier rooms. Mariner, is there a quick donation or something you want to squeeze in?
No new donation yet, but everyone, I want you to remember that we are raising money for Child's Play. Being in a hospital can be traumatizing, stressful, and confusing for a child. Child's Play works with Child Life Services and pediatric hospitals and other children welfare organizations to reduce the toll on young patients and promote healthy development through the power of play. Exclamation point D to get that donation link, and thank you again to everybody who has donated.
Absolutely, and I just want to add that I was in a hospital recently, and it's confusing for adults too.
I can agree with that.
Thank you for that, Marnie. Cypher, do you want to take over here?
All right, yeah, stage 6. We are actually now in the castle, so this area, of course, it doesn't look 8-bit like the original Castlevania, but we're essentially in the same type of area as in that original game. And coming up, we have the infamous chandelier room, where most CV4 runners, if you want a top time, you have to get this room down in order to get what's known as the 1 cycle. So as these chandeliers swing back and forth, there's sort of like you want to get off of them as quickly as you can, but then there's movements in between these platforms on the chandelier so that you get through as optimally, as optimal as possible. So in this case,
Michael.
Yeah, yep, that's correct, Mannix. Yep, this will be a 2 cycle, which is still very good. And again, that consistency that Kenshin produces, just always awesome.
I do want to point out that if you ever do mess up there where this chandelier just falls in the next room, you can break down a tile on the ground, go into a secret room, and beef up all your weapons and everything again. So don't fret for trying that room over and over and stocking up after.
Yep, very true. And you can also meet an old man and his dog and make the old man sad once you take down the dog.
Here we have some enemies that are quite unique. We call them ectoplasms. They're basically like ghost forms. So there's a lot of enemies that we only see in this stage. The developers did a good job at adding unique pieces in every level.
Heck yeah, definitely. Like, this game was one of the, I don't know if it was an exact launch game, but it definitely was early in the life of the SNES there. Ooh, and I think he just took the Anwin boost, if I recall.
Yeah. Shout outs to
Anwin here. But yeah, just this game being so early in the life of the SNES, like the technical prowess behind it is just still amazing to this day.
Here we have the first instance of, this is a skeleton room, but these red ones, you can't...
The Hell Highway.
The Hell Highway. They sort of just break down and come after you again, but knowing Kenshin, he's not going to hang around for too long. What we do have coming up is the coffin room, or the coffin boost room. So normally there's a bunch of coffins spinning around that you have to break all of them and pass through, but if you do some timely crosses and whips and maybe a boost or 2, you can get through these real quick. We'll see how he plays it out.
Oh, honestly, that's a nice
strat. Wow.
Yeah, that was a very nice strat. Usually we all tend to jump and throw the cross and sort of do like a limp whip to slow down the movement to get like a high boost there. But what Kenshin opted for is he destroyed one of the coffins, waited for a cycle to pass, and then was just able to walk through cleanly.
Yep. And here we got the boss called Fred Astaire and Paul Abdul. I'll let you decide which celebrities that was after.
And they're gone. Yep. We got the thumbs up.
Yep. And we got this time we got the pizza crosses. This is actually a really good run so far.
Yeah.
Very good. Right here in the library. This is one of my favorite songs. It's kind of this whole soundtrack is pretty amazing, but this song, I don't know, it vibes with me. So it's a library, but don't be fooled. There's nothing quiet going on.
Yeah, this stage I know is also a favorite of that one Nice Guy. Shout out to Nice Guy. But yeah, the comfy vibes, don't be fooled by them, because this is one of the hardest stages in the run. But as each stage progresses here, you're just going to see the difficulty ramp up. So
There's a
coming
little trick. Oh, go ahead.
yeah, I was just gonna say, like, right here coming up is one of those moments of difficulty where we have what's known as the book jump. And let's just I'm gonna hold my breath a little bit here in hopes that Kenshin gets it. Oh, yes.
Why are we holding? It's Genshin. It's what, 3 frames, 2 frames? Yeah, it's
Yeah, there's a limited window, and that is, yeah, you mess up the book jump, that's it. You fall to your death. You gotta go back into the previous room, and I think you lose your cross. Like, you have to sort of go manually further back if you want to regain your cross from the first room in this entire stage 7. But no, Kenshin handled that again like a champ.
And I love Krunen for calling that trick the literature leap.
It's good.
It's like the advanced name for it. That in chat, also a runner of this game, he understands how good this run is right now. We're already up to the boss, which I already forgot his name.
Grecool. At least everybody calls him Grecool. Which shout outs again to Krunen and Babe. Shout outs to Babe.
Yes, when they go, Sir Grecool.
Grecool. I can't do it any justice, but yeah, Sir Grecool.
So the thing about Grecool is he can defend as long as he feels like it, and that was like average. He defended a couple times.
He can defend and get his health back, I believe, with the shield up.
Oh no, Kenshin, you didn't move. The ground's gonna crumble. What's happening? We are going into stage 8, or as we like to call it, stage 8. And
Yes.
The music really adds to suspense on this level. Like, seriously, the level versus the music to me is like the best mix.
It's friggin' cinematic. And yeah, stage hate. Stage hate is a stage we hate because there's a lot of instant kills, especially with these spike platforms that you see here. Kenshin opting to take it easy, take it a bit safe through the spike areas, but as we tend to do this level as fast as possible, you want to try to sort of take certain boosts so that you can just get through there again as quickly as possible.
Yeah, that eyeball boost was really beautiful, and it looks hard, but it's actually the easy route to bounce yourself up there.
Yeah.
So it's hard to see, but there's little acid drops here. And fun fact, if you do play the Japanese version of this game, the acid is actually blood. But or is the other way around? Yeah.
Nope, you got it. And then also, if you fall in there, it will sap your health away. So now we have this.
About as good as this stage can go before, but we're heading into the Vegas screen. I'll let you talk about this one, Cypher.
Yeah, so all the way towards the tail end of this screen, there is an infamous bridge that tends to want to ruin every CV4 runner's run. The platforms are extremely random. There is no one's figured out any kind of method to get through, this part consistently. But it's coming up here. Kenshin's going to probably take a boost off this breakable staircase. Oh no, actually, he's opting to take it again, taking it consistent and safe.
I think it was the right choice because that was the very right choice.
That was a very terrible pattern. So the house did not win today. Good job, Kenshin.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, but that's just CV4 runners. Just no. Sometimes you just get a feeling like I can't do this. I can't go. You sort of have to go with how you're going, because if you want to go for it and you hesitate, you're still missing. So you have to either go ham or go.
Yeah. And again, with that consistency, Kenshin knows when to and when not to. So
exactly. All right, this is a castle. This is where all the employees for Dracula hang out and get their paychecks.
the Scrooge McDuck area. Yep.
Yeah, everything is made out of gold. In fact, some rooms even have only gold drops. There's a
Mhm.
lot of stuff. I'm not too familiar with this level. I guess you can talk about it. There's a lot of little traps and stuff you need to watch out for.
Yeah, so some things to note, like as Kenshin's jumping over these old platforms, you don't want to run across them because it produces a lot of lag here. So yeah, that's why we jump in between the platforms, as you saw Kenshin do there. And then yeah, we have a part here where there's even more gold platforms, but now you got the death pit below. He's still going to try to reduce as much lag as he can. Ooh, and that skeleton wanted to be a jerk, but Kenshin took him down. Yeah. So then coming up into this room, we got this little bone dragon there. Swing across the coffin so that they don't chase you down, and you can just walk right through this bone dragon here, and you got some meat to refill. This room, I absolutely hate this room. I cannot. Oh my god! And Kenshin made it look easy. This stupid room. That room's dumb. But going on to this part here, yeah, you can do what's known as the spike jump, where you can get through the fallen blocks pretty fast. Kenshin did, like, you could say almost like the equivalent of a 2 cycle through the blocks there. But this vertical room that he's in now, this is the room that Mannix was alluding to, where these candles, none of them have any hearts. It's all just money bags. So like if you wanted to build up your secondary weapon supply, you couldn't do so in this room. So
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so we didn't really talk about candles, but if Kenshin was to lose his cross, he would have to break so many candles with his sub weapons before he can get them back to double and triple. So losing it, even though you get your cross back, doesn't mean you're fully up to speed. And there's a big warning for Zathbat for flashes. So every time the bat gets hit, I believe 23 whips is required.
Yep.
And then it'll split into 3 bats, and we hope that they give you a good pattern so you're sort of lined up for crosses.
Mm-hmm.
It seemed to be a little high from what I can see.
Yeah, it's a bit high. It's a bit high, but he's handling it well. Oh yeah, towards the tail end there, that was a good cross up. So yep.
So boss that can sneak on you because you're focusing on the bats, but all these little glitters that are falling can hit you and take away your health.
Mm-hmm.
You're focusing on the bats, but and these things keep falling on your head, and you're like, oh, why am I down half health?
And I think, and I actually might be mistaken here. I think it may be better to get hit by those gold pieces as opposed to getting physically hit by the bats, because I think they do more damage than the bits that drop off of them.
Right, while we listen to one of the best songs for a little bit, Marinee, let's check if there's a few donos.
We do have a donation. Thank you so much to Nescape Plan. I hope I'm saying that right. For that $14 donation, saying hoping for a friendly mummy and Sligora on this run. Thank you so much for that donation. Remember that !D will get you that Tiltify link. We are raising money for Child's Play.
Very much. And yes, you did say it right, by the way. It is an escape plan.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we're about to head into, well, first of all, there ain't no Castlevania without a clock tower level, so this is your clock tower. And we're almost done the vertical segment, but we are entering a vertical segment, and I'm sure Kenshin's going to make it look easy, but yeah, it's really hard to optimize this stage.
Yeah.
You want to elaborate there?
One of the hardest rooms in the game. Like, if you want to get up here, is, again, as quickly as you can, there's certain, like, damage that you would take from, like, the flying Medusas to give you some iframes, to bounce a certain way to grab these rings. And it's one of the more challenging rooms that takes some time for CV4 runners to get down. But yeah, again, Kenshin making it look really easy here, getting that clip through the ground there to grab the early ring to get past this bone dragon and get to the exit. Nicely done, very nice. I probably would have died like twice there. What were you saying, Mannix?
I was just gonna go get a recorder and just say Kenshin made that look easy and just leave it on for the rest of the run.
You're right. Yep.
So we're
Pretty
hoping
much.
for the mummy to either spawn. Is it at the top right or the bottom left?
Yep, that's correct. Basically, the edges of the screen here. If he spawns in the middle, that is less than ideal. But here, spawning up to the upper right, we can do a mix of crosses and whips to take him out fast.
And you do notice that Kenshin throws crosses on the side. It's not for swag. He's trying to reduce as many hearts as he has. Because there's a little countdown for your hearts remaining at the end of each level. So that was 5. So that's not bad. And we're already headed in the final stage. Wow, we're breezing 20, sub 29 coming into stage B.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who Dracula hires for bridge making, but I don't know. I don't know if bats is the right construction material. Now, I know for a fact that Kitchen, again, making it look easy, but I know you've probably got caught here, Cypher, like turning around and whipping these bats and still carrying your momentum is very hard.
It is, and it's a necessity, because if you don't, then it produces all kinds of lag, and of course you lose time with that.
And speaking of hard bosses, now we have who we like to call the stairs
boss. Yep, the stair boss.
So these little stairs made out of stones all fall while you're walking on it. But the problem is if you land on a very specific pixel, like you'll just fall right through. You won't even.
Yep, just fall right to your death. It's a mix of embarrassing, it's a mix of sadness, all kinds of just emotions. The stair boss is probably the worst boss in the game, next to someone that you'll see coming up very shortly here, Slogger, as an escape plan had mentioned in their donation, which again, thank you for that donation too.
Also, these spikes, like, don't try to get too close to them. Their hitbox is treacherous.
Yeah.
We're already up to Slogger. Like, seriously, like, if I could, this run, like, I know he's, like, not dying or anything, but it's not because he's slow. He's just so good at this game.
Masterclass. This is a masterclass run of CV4. And hopefully, as you all see this, hey, maybe others will get interested in wanting to pick up this run. The community is fantastic. We got just a number of awesome members in this community, and people working to improve their times. Like, shout outs to Christmas, who's like, I'm not to put too much pressure on her, but I see a world record in the future. You know, we got Andwin blazing the trail. We got D&D Net. We got Tinwee. We got just, so many awesome people. And then again, not to forget our awesome runner here, who just made Slogger look like just a chump. Slogger there being probably one of the worst bosses in the game just for RNG. Kenshin, he shrugged his shoulders. I think maybe it could have been a little bit better, but he, again, still masterclass.
And then we followed was one of the easiest ones.
yeah, and then we have the easiest bosses in Gaibon here, which some of you may recognize if you've never played CV4. They also make an appearance in Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
But we can't complete the trio without having a death fight. Now, this fight, we're hoping for death to give us a specific pattern. If not, Kenshin will have to adapt a little bit. But he's going to throw some crosses exactly timely ahead so that they hit him in the corner. That's good. Then 2 more. Wow.
Damn. Oh, good.
The top right side kill, I mean, if you kill him anywhere from the half of the screen to the right, like, you did it really well.
Mm-hmm.
And just like that, we're already headed to the final boss, but not before the final stairs boss.
Yeah.
That's Tin, who falls on PPKs down here.
Yep.
There is a secret room down there to get your get all your beefed up items, but Kenshin didn't die at all, so he's got everything he needs.
Yep, and a decent amount of hearts to make short work on Dracula here, which we'll have a number of cycles as he teleports around the room. Simon has to aim for his head, which is his weak spot, and just break him down. He'll shoot out these projectiles that if you can hit them, will drop some meat. I don't know why Dracula has meat popping out of his projectiles, but we're not complaining because it powers us up.
So these right side or left side edge screens are the worst because you can't really get good cross bounces.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so he's got good health going into the final phase, which is similar, except we'll have a lot more lightning coming down on each phase. So it's a lot harder to dodge.
Yep, and Kenshin managing his crosses here so that he has enough to finish it out. And yeah, we will have a low 34.
Kenshin every day, 34, and the 2 thumbs up. Time is when he grabs the last orb that will appear shortly.
Didn't I call it? I said 34, 34, 34. Look at it, people.
It's a low 34 too. Oh man. And time 34:18. What the hell?
You said what the hell?
Like he just realized hundreds of CV4 players' dreams of a once in a lifetime in a marathon.
Yep. So true. GG's Kenshin, awesome job as always. But I'm glad that he was able to put on a great show for everyone here.
Right. So I do want to first shout out kenshintrek. Make sure you follow him. Twitch.tv/kenshintrek. He does this run plenty of times. He plays Dracula X. He'll always give you a good run to look at, and a fantastic individual if you get a chance to speak to him too. And thank you, Cypher, for coming in and commentating with me. It was fun to do this.
Likewise. This was our first time, I think, commentating together, so we gotta look to do it again.
Exactly, and definitely follow us in the Castlevania Discord. Every speedrun.com page for the games have the link to the Discord, and we'll have a great community. This is a great game. If you're looking for help to get started, this is probably the one where you'll have somebody right there ready to help you.
Yep. Another quick thing is that every Sunday there's a race that happens. So just always helping runners, whether new or seasoned, continue to keep their hands warm for this game, to continue to push, for personal achievement, or just if you want to race and have a good time with others, you can. So we definitely would love more runners. So join us.
Warm. We are going to Warm Weather Island. Mirne, what's coming up next?
Yes, we are going to see Star Tropics by a Bug Doctor. So make sure everybody you stick around for that. Thank you so much to the both of you for the awesome commentary. This was a fun run to watch with you. And with that, I'm going to be done hosting for the night. So thank you everybody for hanging out with me, but do not go anywhere because we have more awesome games coming up. Make sure you get hydrated, take a quick stretch break, and we'll be right back.